Hi, this is Shiva Kumar CR. I'm the president of National Association of Realtors India and also the chairman of Co-Area. I've been into the business of real estate for the last about 18 odd years. Run a company called Danvi Ventures India Private Limited in Coimbatore. We do real estate broking across the country, licensing in Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, and parts of Karnataka, and we engage actively in the development of layouts in Coimbatore.
How did you come into real estate?
I started my career with sales, say in 2004. I was at ICICI Prudential, then I moved to BPL Mobile. I was on a flight traveling from Chennai to Coimbatore when I met a very, very senior gentleman, and then from the government of Russell Khaimah, and then he asked me to join real estate. So real estate accidentally happened to me, and then that accident continued to show the destiny for me in life. So real estate happened to me in 2005 by accident.
What was your first deal in real estate and how much did you earn?
My first deal in real estate, I started the company way back in 2008. There was a different company that I started then. My first deal was a very small deal. There was a gentleman by name Kanikannan. So he was the first client of mine, and he had offered me a commission of say about 26,000 rupees, and that had come to us in three parts: 8,000, 6,000, and 12,000. So that was my first deal.
When did you join Co-Area? Share your experience from Co-Area member to NAR India president.
I joined Co-Area in the year 2012, and I was also a very reluctant member at Co-Area, not knowing what real estate was then. The idea of connecting to people outside Coimbatore did not occur to me until I traveled to one of the governing body meetings at Chandigarh. That's when I realized that real estate had its wings flapping across India, and I was here building my nest in Coimbatore. So in 2016, I was sent as a proxy member from Coimbatore to Chandigarh, and then I became I got to understand what the principles of NAR India was. It was multi-city broking. It had a lot of principles and ethics that covered this business. And also, what led to me was the idea of professionalism in this business. So that kind of drove me, and I started performing at my local association. We had a small event then called RERA, I think 2017 or 18. Then the NAR India team then looked at me and then made me the South Zone head. Then after that, I became the vice president. After that, I became the president-elect. Now I'm sitting as the president of NAR India. So it's easy at NAR India to become a president once you're a part of a local chapter and you work there.
Can you describe a time when you faced the most challenging situation in real estate?
It is every day. So in real estate, you face difficult situations every day. Unlike other businesses, real estate is like marriage. You don't know when your wife wants to fight with you, when the husband wants to fight with the wife. So, but the most critical situations in real estate arise when you don't know whether the buyer is prepared to buy this or whether the seller is willing to sell this. The idea of integration of two minds is the most difficult process in real estate. So that's why I said it's an everyday affair. And to convince your team to sell a project or to sell a house or to sell a plot is even more difficult, because that gentleman has to understand your thought process, go there, meet the buyer and seller, and then convince both of them. So this is more or less integration of minds. So I believe real estate is going to be a tough job unless and until you're well informed and knowledgeable about the product and the project. And you also should understand that this is a business of people more than places. If you're able to convince people, I think the difficult part of it will become less difficult.
Do you think a realtor can change an individual's life?
I think yes, or I'm confident yes. Couple of reasons why I said I think yes and I'm confident yes. Before starting my journey as a realtor, I never knew that I could influence somebody's life to buy a house or a plot or whatever he desired of. Now, after sitting here, I know that I could influence this. Now, many of us get into the business of real estate because we think this is an easy business to enter into. It has no capital. The capital that you need to put is your time or your two-wheeler or your know-how of the market. Now, I believe to influence anybody's decision, you need to be as thorough as a lawyer as critical as a chartered accountant, as clear as a teacher who can guide the student to take him to the next level. So I think the business of real estate is predominantly about giving information to the client and ensuring that he purchases the dream property of his life. So as a realtor, you can definitely influence people's lives.
Can you describe an instance in which you, as a realtor, made a significant impact in someone's life?
When the first project and the second project, our first project was we did this facilitation of buying a property in a very local micro market here in Coimbatore, and the gentleman was a budding contractor, and we got him the land. We also got him the sanctions to build the property. After all that happened, it took him about 3.5 years to build this project. Now, what happened after he built this, and when he stood there during the inauguration of the project, and people came, gave him a hug, and realized that they have got the dream house or they've got the dream property they wish to purchase. I realized a common contractor's life has elevated, and as a realtor, I have given him that elevation. So that is the first thing. The second thing is, I remember our client, she's a manager at Indian Bank, and that lady had a property in one of the micro markets in Coimbatore, and she wanted that to be safe. So we told that as an allied service, we also do barbed wire fencing of the property. So we helped her fence the property, and we gave her a small report along with a small chocolate box. And that madam got back to me on a call that day evening saying, Shiva Kumar, I never knew that somebody could give me a report that could say what my property measured, how many stones are there, etc., etc., etc. Way back, 14 years before. So you can influence people's lives directly and indirectly. Directly is by elevating from where he stands to where he goes. Indirectly is by showing them that whatever they possess is something invaluable, and that could be transferred to the next generations.
What are the qualities that a realtor should have according to you?
The qualities that a realtor should possess is that first a realtor should understand that he is a businessman. And for me, principally, a businessman needs to have two important things. One is curiosity, and the second one is empathy. When you're curious and you want to learn about markets, and you want to learn about projects and products, that expands your knowledge base. So in the business of real estate and in any other business, your knowledge base should be strong so that you're communicating to the market well. Second is, in every business, there is an element of empathy. If we miss the element of empathy and we fail to understand the consumer who's sitting right in front of us, we will not deliver justice to the client. What we will deliver is merely a property and probably take back a check. What we need to build is we need to build relations. I think less said and more done is in those days the relationship building factor. Today we have something called as customer relationship management. Today we have a lot of softwares that kind of engage us between the client and ourselves. In those days, I don't think that happened. In those days, that happened naturally. So I really believe that two important things are curiosity and empathy.
What do you want to say to your fellow realtor?
For everybody in real estate, what I have to say is a couple of things. Before choosing this profession, there is one thing that you must understand, is that are you willing to go to that extra mile to give that land or that house or the project that a person wants to achieve? The second thing is that after you are given that mile, are you willing to stay resilient in this industry? Because this is the most turbulent industry that will test your skills, test your ability, also test your resilience. We've all heard that the textile industry goes through a sinusoidal wave. A lot of industries have sinusoidal waves. Real estate is not like that. It may take you to the heights, bring you down, again take you to the heights, bring you down. What you need to maintain is consistency. In order to maintain consistency for real estate, everybody wanting to jump into this profession, please understand, couple of things as I told you, is to do that extra mile, research. So research, learn, and come back and give it back to your society and make India a progressive nation by contributing to the real estate economy of this country.
What is the advice you want to give to an aspiring realtor?
In every developed country, what you see is that real estate is looked upon as a profession. For aspiring real estate individuals in India, what you see, the existing professionals bring the next generation into the same profession, either because of legacy, or because of respect, or because of the money that the profession has. But you realtors, aspiring realtors, need to understand that this industry in India is changing scape. How is it changing scape? One, the professionals that are getting into this industry have already experienced the legal side of it, the auditing side of it, or any other field which is related to real estate. Maybe a little bit of construction also are getting into real estate. But what I see is for the younger generation, lack of knowledge, lack of resources available in India for real estate is the deficiency that I feel. So I think you all need to go ahead, pursue some real estate courses either inside the country or outside the country. Come back and change the scape of real estate so that your father who was doing real estate didn't profess or ask you to practice it, but you came back because of the passion and started doing this. Two things: deliver to the society, at the same time build the society.
As a realtor and the president of NAR India, what do you want to share with the stakeholders of the industry?
The most deficient commodity these days in business is trust. 20 years before, 30 years before, somebody had to give a word, they would keep up their word. They would never go back on their word. Today, in every business, what is missing is trust. And real estate is the least trusted, least respected, and least professed business in the country. My message to all the stakeholders in this industry is make it the most respected, most trusted, and most profitable business in the country, so that the economy spins around land. You and me are born in a hospital, that's on top of a land. You and me go to school, that's on top of a land. You and me go to college, that's again on land. You and me go to a hotel to eat, that's again on land. Entertainment is on land. Finally, when we go, that 4x4 or that 6x6 grave is also on land. So the epicenter of the business is land. Let's learn to respect land. Let's learn to respect the profession. Thank you very much.